So I bring you greetings, fraternal greetings. My name is Barrister Don Amamgbo. I'm a lawyer and I'm a businessman also. Been a lawyer for 40 years, 40 long years. I'm also a business owner. I employ people that work for me. So I've been asked to talk to I was asked the youth, the young at heart, and also the issue is leading with integrity, building communities that thrive. Well, there are key buzzwords here you need to focus on. One is to lead, the other one is integrity, and the other thing here is to build. Then the next one is community, and then a community that thrives, not one that dies off over time. So let's understand what we're talking about when we talk about integrity. What does it mean? Most people throw those words around and don't really take time to understand what it means. So here's what my good dictionary says, and then we'll expand on that. It says, for a person, integrity means having and acting on strong, unwavering, and ethical principles, demonstrating honesty, accountability, trustworthiness, and being consistent in their actions and values. And here's the one I like: when no one is watching. Did you get all that? So let me put all that in real life terms. I called a meeting 2 days ago of extremely important people. It was a very important meeting. I was the chairman of the meeting. People know how I operate. I don't entertain people being indolent about anything. So I put out an agenda and I said, look, we all need to be at that meeting at 3 o'clock. I also told them no African time. And then the meeting was set. I arrived at that meeting at 5 minutes to 3. Shortly thereafter, one more person arrived. Do you know when that meeting started? At 3:30. For me, in my usual way, I will have called off the meeting, called it a day, and gone home. My 3 o'clock is my 3 o'clock. But I gave people a chance. They came in at 3:30. At 3:30, I called it off. A lot of people came later into the meeting, and I called them out. I said, look, you can't, if you don't value my time, you will not value the process. You will not value the work that we're here to do. There's a reason why we put a time. So if I tell people to be there on time and I come in 1 hour late, clearly they will not take me serious. Now, you have to have unwavering moral and ethical principles. In my business, people understand where I stand on issues. If you steal, you are gone and you'll be prosecuted. Your ethics must be second to none. And you must have honesty. I would rather you tell me you made a mistake than lie to me, because now the lie is more serious than the mistake you made. But you understand, in Nigeria, it's always, let me try and see how I can wiggle out of this situation. Let me see how I can give him explanations rather than owning up to your mistake. So as a young person, the first thing you have to learn to do is to take responsibility for your actions, no matter the consequences. Now, if you have integrity, meaning people can trust you, you go a long way. I spent most of my life practicing law in the United States. There, you don't have enough money to start anything. Usually, you have to work for the banks. You have to work with some business partners. If you have no integrity and no honesty, they will not work with you. Americans and most of the Western world and society was built on integrity and honesty and hard work and truthfulness and being true to your word. It used to be back in the days, if I shake your hand, the deal is done. I'll give you an example of that. There was a transaction about 10 years ago. I was involved in a lot of money, a very large transaction. I closed the deal with somebody I don't really know that well. When he came to me, we negotiated, we agreed on a price. That price, there was no contract, nothing. We just shook hands. I said, if you pay me this amount, I'll sell to you. He said to me, deal, but I'll pay you on Monday. This was in Radisson Blue Hotel in Lagos. He said, I'll pay you on Monday. You're talking about back then almost 300 something million naira. I said, I'll pay you on Monday. This was Friday. In fact, after that, we had a happy hour. Saturday, I get a call from another person who wanted that product. He says, I understand you have something to sell and I'm interested in buying. I said, yes, I do, but the deal is gone. So has the person paid? I said, no. He says, well, what is it offering you? I told him, 360 something million naira. He says, I'll add 50 million naira extra on top. Just give me, let's close the deal here. I'll pay you right away. I looked at him, I said, I can use the money, but I've already given my word to the gentleman that I spoke with on Friday. So I'm not going to take extra 50, 60 million naira from you and tell him I'm sorry tomorrow. The man was shocked. But that's what I did. I didn't even tell that man that I had a better offer, but because I gave him my word was more expensive than the extra money he was offering me. And so over the years, I forgot about that incident. Then about a year ago, that man that offered me extra 60, 70, whatever, 80 million naira extra, came here with another man to do a transaction with me. That transaction required was over 400 something million, and I hate to drop numbers, but just so you know the magnitude of the deal, the person wanted to give me the money up front, advance payment, and then over time, we'll be deducting whatever he's, he'll be deducting from the upfront money. I don't want to go into too many details. And, I was like, I don't like people's money in my hands. Just pay me as you go. He says, no, I don't know. We'll leave the money with you. He came with that man. And I asked him, I said, well, why are you willing to do that? He said, okay. I remember what you did about 9 years ago when I wanted to buy this product from you. Somebody had offered you money that was less than what you wanted, and what I was willing to pay. You said, because you've already given him your word that, you won't go back on it. He said, he went back and he thought about it and said, well, what manner of man is this? We're in this business to make money. He said, so I know if we give you this money, there will be no story. Now, that's integrity. That's honesty, because then people can trust you. Without trust in business, nobody will deal with you. It will shock you to know that there was a time in Nigeria where you go to overseas, find the goods you want to buy, they allow you to take it, ship it to Nigeria, and pay them after you've done selling the goods. And then what did Nigerians do? A lot of people started buying goods on credit, coming back to Nigeria, sell the goods, and don't pay the white man and tell him the man who bought the goods from you died last month. The Igbo man has flown from, overseas into Nigeria looking for his creditor, only to be told the man has died. In fact, they went as far as putting obituaries in the newspaper. This is true story. And you now find out over time, nobody wants to give or sell anything to a Nigerian unless you pay upfront. But for a businessman or a young man who is starting, you don't have the capital. You don't have the money. If you come to my office now and say, I want to buy 100 million naira worth of things from you, and I will pay you in 30 days, do you think I'll say yes to you? I think 99% of the time I'll say no. But if there is that one person that over time, he borrowed 10,000 naira from me, he paid it back, I tried him with 100,000 naira, he paid it back, I've seen how he runs his business, he's very honest, he's very straightforward, he's very serious about it, I may just give him that product on credit. Now, so without integrity, you are nothing. And that is why Nigeria is having so much problem today. A lot of the youth, all this 419 you see people are doing and advanced fraud is all because the people on the other side believed your story and gave you something on trust. And then what did you do with it? You use that money to go and play with girls and buy cars and be flashy and everything. You not only ruined it for yourself, you've ruined it for everybody else and also the nation. Now, so now you have integrity and you want to build a community that thrives. How do you build a community that thrives? First, you have to learn how to give back. If you've been blessed, please give back. So what does giving back mean? It doesn't mean you just throw your money out into society. It means if somebody, okay, let me give you another example of giving back. One day I was going to church in my village. Actually, I was going to a burial. And this young man, his name is Promise, together with 3 or 4 other youth, put a barricade across the road in the village. And every car that crosses that barricade must pay them some money, or they will refuse to, remove the barricade. So when I approached there, I said, my friend, remove this thing from the road. They refused. I got down from the car and it was almost a scuffle. And I'm talking, 22, 23-year-old. But there were more of them, like 4 or 5 of them. I stood my ground. We exchanged hot words. One of them had a machete. I was not afraid. Reluctantly, they removed the barricade and drove off. When I got to my destination, I called the youth. I said, how are you allowing these people to be harassing motorists, collecting money and threatening them, and you're sitting here? They said, what happened? I told them. About 10 of them drove to that location, grabbed the 4 of them, brought them to the location, to the burial where we were. Justice was served to them with a lot of beating by the youth. One of them almost died. In fact, that one that confronted me, Promise, I had to stop the beating, but he needed that beating. I gave him 40,000 naira to go to the hospital to treat himself. He did. I now told him, I said, you can never amount to anything if you keep doing what you're doing. You will only get worse, from putting barricades to kidnapping, from kidnapping to armed robbery and so on and so forth, and you'll not end well. But if you want to help yourself, come and see me. He did. He came. I said, so what do you want to do with your life? He said, well, I want to be a fashion designer. To cut a long story short, I sent him to a fashion school. He graduated last month, and I gave him enough money to begin his own business. And he was thanking me. He was so emotional about it, how I saved his life and everything. I told him, no, I don't need your prayer. Well, of course, all of us need prayers. But what I said to him was, there are more of you making the same mistake you made that brought you to me. I'm not going to be able to interface with all of them. But when you become successful, find somebody that was you back then and give him the same opportunity I gave you. That way, if we all do that, we are building a better community that will thrive. So give back. So one of the things you have to learn to do is give back. You don't have to give millions, but always give back. Be part of your community. A lot of people are living in isolation. They are all islands to themselves. But if you build a thriving community, that thriving community may become your customers. It may become people that will need your services. It will become a community where you can find a wife since you are still young. It will become people you will grow old with. Become people that you will spend 20, 30, 40 years with, and you look back on life and you find out that your son is marrying their daughter and they are successful, you're successful, the community is thriving. Those are some of the things that if you do, you build a better community. Remember, building a community is not about building structures. It takes more than structures to make a community. Are you connected to the community? And a community does not mean it has to be a village. Find your own community and thrive in it and build it up. Could be your immediate family, could be your immediate community, could be your church, could be your gym, it could be one of these social organizations that are designed to do good. You join that community and grow with them, and then you network. Networking is the key that will unlock the doors that will give you opportunities to succeed. So, in a nutshell, the first thing, your first currency in life is integrity. If you don't have it, you have nothing. Even the wealthy, if they don't have integrity, people will say, nah, I know if you do business with that man, no, your money go with me, so. All that money he made off of people by stealing their money and all that. So your reputation is the most important thing you ever have. Protect it with your life. Integrity is everything. If you tell somebody, I will pay you back your money on the 10th of October, please don't come back with stories, because next time he will not give you. But if you must, and you know you have challenges, come up with a plan, not an explanation why you haven't paid him. Come up with, again, let me repeat that. Come up with a plan and then ask him for extension of time. He will understand a plan than an explanation. Be wary of the company you keep. See, as you grow, your community can also be your business. In my business, since 2010, with over 200 employees, I've only lost 2 to death. None because they stole from me or did something stupid. Why? It starts from the top. If you're a thief, it will reflect all the way down because they're watching you. They're like children growing up. Whatever you do, they'll do. If they know from your body language and from the way you live your life that you're a no-nonsense person, you're strict but fair, people will follow you. That community will thrive. They will put in their energy and their resources to grow your business. But if they know that you demand that they give you an honest day's labor and you pay them a dishonest wage, and they will steal from you. So, integrity is everything. It's all wrapped up in character, honesty, fairness, hard work, all of that thing. So if you do all of that and you're humble enough, you're going to make it. I wish all of you good luck and God bless. Thank you.